want to see a dead body.
How's it going, friends and family of the internet? Welcome to the Real AF TV podcast, the show that's usually about fishing around pigs from the land of 10,000 lakes. But this is our Halloween special dropping, Tim, on Halloween.
Yeah.
I already said your name. I'm Josh LaBaw.
And I'm Tim Wagner, and we're getting spooky. Not really spooky. Halloweener. There's a pumpkin behind me. That's not spooky, but it's Halloween, baby.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love your set right now. It's so good. If you are listening to this on a MP3 only version of the podcast, like over on Spotify or iHeartRadio or something like that, then you are missing out on a fantastic pumpkin carving that Tim has done of the Real AF TV podcast logo.
Yeah.
It's so good. You can go over to the Instagram or the Twitters or the Facebooks where we are on the social media. We're definitely going to be posting that photo as well.
Yeah.
So you can find it over there if you are in the MP3 only version. But come over to YouTube, check us out, Real AF TV. Remember, Real Like Fishing Reel, and you can see this thing in video form. It's so good, Tim. It looks so good, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I've been carving pumpkins for a while. I think we talked about that on previous ones, but I haven't really done it much since my son was born. And this year I was like, I'm back, baby. And I went out and I bought a set, like a new set. I was like, keep it all organized, keep it all. Jesus.
Whoa, I heard that. You check out what that is while I get into some housekeeping and other things. If you have to get up and go check what it is, don't worry. I got you, Tim.
Okay.
You can peace out on the video. Yeah. I'm going to get into some housekeeping and things like that, where I'm going to tell you, the listener, you, the audio listener, and the video watcher, that this is the Real AF TV podcast. It is a bi-weekly podcast where we usually talk about fishing and random takes, but again, where this is a Halloween special. If you found us here for the first time, thanks for looking for Halloween, and I'm so glad that somehow we made it into the Halloween SEO. Please like and subscribe and do all that stuff if this is your first time here, and if it's not your first time here, come like and subscribe and do all that stuff anyway. Remember now, we're on iTunes. We are on Spotify. Please go over there and do reviews. That would be a great help for us. And we're also on Pandora now. Pandora, Stitcher, they're the same kind of network now. But either way, we're on almost every single podcast network thing that I could personally think of. So if you could share with a friend and let them know we're out there. If they're listening to it, if they're listening to the podcast, we're out there on their platform. Also go to realaf.tv/contact. That's right, realaf.tv/contact. We have a contact form on our website that just emails us. Give us feedback. Let us know how you like the Halloween special. Let us know how you like the holiday specials in general, because again, if this is your first time around, we keep doing the holiday specials, and that is just something we like to do. No ads on this one, except for patreon.com/realaftv. Head over there. You can be a direct supporter of Real AF TV. And Tim,
I'm back.
Is everything cool? I heard that clunk. We could hear that clunk. I guarantee the listeners and watchers heard that.
So apparently my son got pissed off because he wanted some water.
Oh, God.
And he like slammed the door.
Oh.
But then I like ran up.
Something crashed off the wall.
No.
Now
That's
all your
what I
collector
thought.
plates with the deer,
and
all your deer collector plates are falling on the floor, breaking.
my wife was up there with my son, and I knew that they were gonna like read a story and then go to bed. So I'm like, it sounded like he must have slammed it hard enough. It sounded like it was right above me. His bedroom is not right above me. That's why I was like, I need to go check this out. Also, I've been like watching way too many horror movies. So you hear boom and you're like, oh shit.
Right.
The demons are here. We got to go.
so perfect for the Halloween special that happened. It's just such a great fit. Like, I swear, sometimes you think we stage these things. We don't.
No.
We just put notes on a dock and
No.
then turn on microphones and cameras.
Just got a shithead little 4-year-old and just setting me up.
So
Oh,
good.
man.
We are going to talk about movies and games because those are the two topics that I'm bringing to the Halloween special that we're going to talk about, because I know how much Tim loves horror movies. I got some horror game stuff that's been happening. The video game industry always gets all spooky around this time,
I love
too,
horror
and I want to
games
talk to you
too,
about
man.
it.
Yeah.
But tradition on the Real AF TV podcast is now that we do quick fish and news, and why not? Just because the holiday special doesn't mean we're going to just completely disregard fishing.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot about MLF on the last episode, which, by the way, this is the first time we've ever launched week after week. So this one's truly a special.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with another full version of the podcast. But anyways, here we go. Quick fishing news. The MLF, again, has done some big scoring changes. Their bigger tour, like I'll just say what it is, but it's like their bigger tour. It's their big tour. The Bass Pro Tour, brought to you by Bass Pro Shops.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They changed it. So they just changed their scoring. So Tim, I think we've talked about it before, but the MLF was big on the like catch it, weigh it, throw it back, write it down. That's a fish. That's a score, right?
Right. Theirs were like a constant, like keep them coming. That where it was just like, because it was like you were saying, catch it, weigh it, do that thing. There wasn't your 5 fish limit. It was just like, just keep going. Like some of the pros didn't want to do that because they thought that these guys would just be like dinking and dunking, just like little fish after little fish, like, dink them to death, pounder, pound, pound, while these other guys are out there taking their time trying to catch these big ones. So, but it didn't seem to really be that big of a deal. Like it all averaged itself out. That like
that's kind of what I thought too.
You can't really pull in, like, even if pounders are easier to catch, you can't pull them in one after another for like 80 pounds straight,
Right. And I think the period thing probably had something to do with that. But here's the thing. It's just in the scoring. They are going to only 5 fish now.
Oh, they are.
But it's not as big as a change as it sounds like it is. You should just go over to, if you want the full story, go look them up on Twitter. Just go to the MLF on Twitter, and find the story. It's really easy. It's brand new. So it won't be far down their feed. But here's the thing. I'm going to break it down. It's top 5 scoreable fish. Still catch as many as you can. Still release immediately. It's just now what you were saying, Tim, the dinkum.
Yeah.
Just pop.
Yep.
Not every fish is scoreable anymore. Now it's just your top 5 fish. So it really is going to come down to those 5 fish weighing a lot.
So that's the same shit as what bass does.
But they're not keeping them.
Right.
They're still not keeping them. But
like bass
it's
does,
almost the
bass,
same thing. Yep.
Yeah, bass like culls them. Like, so they'll keep them. So it's like doing the same thing that bass does, except for you're not risking the fish's lives by keeping them to bring them up and like hold them up in front of everybody,
Right.
So that part,
which, I mean, you say risking lives, and I get what you're saying for a fact, as well as I do.
I think
like,
that's all.
There's a chance.
Yeah. But I don't think you really have to worry about it with those guys with their equipment and stuff.
Right. And that's what I mean.
Aerators and stuff. Bass are hardy, man. They can handle it, unless you're talking like a real big tank that's like never been stressed like that. But for the most part, like that fish has probably been caught before, like
yeah, for sure.
The odds of you not getting caught when you're a bass, when you're eating that much, are pretty low, and people just don't keep them. They're not that kind of fish. So, but yeah, that's cool though, to just to change the rules a little bit around there.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of being able to use a net. I just think it's like, I understand, like I've done the whole like lean down, land it with the hand, like it feels gratifying, but like catching a fish is catching a fish at the end of the day, like I'm totally okay with people using a net. It seems silly to catch a fish and then, like, just because you missed the mouth a couple of times and it gets away, then you just don't get that fish. Like,
right.
It's just a little bit, I don't know. It's
Right.
sometimes I just say, yeah, just I don't have a net. But their bass is like so old school. They're just like, we're not changing shit.
Yeah.
This
And
is
that was
how it's
the
done.
one thing, like when I read this story, I was like, this is cool. They're changing it up. They're trying
Yeah.
something new. It's cool. And also that format of catch as many scoreable fish as you can, it's not going away from the MLF. It's just not the Bass Pro Tour. So it's just like there's another one underneath it that's like the General Tire something else. Like there's other tours, that are still big tours in the MLF that are still doing the catch as many and weigh as many. It's only the big
Only
Bass
their
Pro
Super Bowl.
Tour. Yeah.
Come at me, Super Bowl. Is it even
now
against the rules?
Now it's going to get erased from YouTube because you said Super Bowl.
Is it even against the rules to say it?
No,
on a podcast. So. You got like 15 minutes of like the being able to play anybody's music. I can't say the title of or that's what I meant. Yeah, 15 minutes. We can play like 5 tracks off their album. Yeah, dude. No, but that's pretty dope. Yeah. That's cool that they're just like, yeah, this one's gonna be more of a, you're not gonna take the big shebang, because not only do we want it to be a more skillful game, it's gonna be pretty damn embarrassing if they're like, John wins, weighing in his big fish of the day is is this right? Does this say 2.7 pounds? That's your big fish? You win? Yeah, because I caught like, they were all 2.7. I caught like 40 of them. Like, dude, that's not, nobody's impressed by that. I don't give a shit. Give me my belt, bro. Like, because they have belts too, I think.
They have a belt, yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be embarrassing to just be like, the guy that won all this money.
Right. Is
anyways.
But that's it. Just wanted to keep that one quick. We'll move on. It was as quick as it can be at 6 or so minutes. That's the quickest we can. All right, let's get into Halloween. Okay, Tim, you already kicked us off last week with Hellraiser 2022, and I was like, save it, dude. Hold on, wait. Just jump in.
Yeah, dude, for sure. That Hellraiser 2022 was just kind of like an outside the box deal, man. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was kind of like the same premise. In the original Hellraiser, the whole thing is basically a box. It's like a puzzle box, and you kind of move it around and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, the first one, you see somebody like put the puzzle box together, and then all these chains come out of nowhere and start like grabbing into his face and stuff and rip him apart. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Then he just wakes up like nothing happened. You're just like, what? And there's no explanation. You're like, I don't understand. So
it's like
the
a
whole
loop
thing.
movie?
I
swear we've talked about this before, but this is all new.
Kind of like a loop movie, but like the idea of this box is like the whole thing is like the Cinnabites, which sounds like a snack.
Yeah,
are like the bad people. Like the Hellraiser, there's like the main guy Pinhead, and then he's got like these other people that are like basically people that it's happened to otherwise. There's like this big fat thing, and so it's all them different dudes, and those guys are all there, and their whole thing is like they're in BDSM outfits, and there's just like pleasure is pain, like sensation is what we're all about.
I just watched a Rick and Morty episode. That's making me laugh. Sorry, keep going. I'm sorry.
No. So I mean, like, that's probably where Rick and Morty got it from, because that's the whole basis of this. And like, in the original one, like, this dude's kind of a freak, and he wants that. He wants to have this pleasure is pain type deal.
Yep.
and he's got a mistress and all this other junk, and like you just kind of really got to piece it together and try to figure it out. And
Mm-hmm.
it's better than what I once thought, but it's just a lot of like creepy imagery and weird shit, and you're just like, dude, I don't. This is hard to follow along with. And this new one, like, there's a guy that's been kind of studying the puzzle box, and he's got like the different configurations, and he knows where it's going, and you know where it's going. As a movie, you kind of learn along with him, so you're understanding. The first time in 30 years, you're understanding what the fuck is going on. So you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then it's all like a reimagining. Like Pinhead is, kind of the same character, but it's a woman this time instead of the man.
Yep. Okay.
And then like it's also a female main character, and it's kind of like people aren't necessarily trying to do this box. It's like just happening, and then it's like kind of destroying their lives. It happens to a couple of different people. But yeah, it's really well. I don't want to like spoil anything, but it's really well done. I thought towards the end, like, it was super creepy, and it's crazy. It's definitely like still a Hellraiser movie, like where you're like, what the hell's going on? But I also, it wasn't as over the top, like wet all the time. Like the first one is just like always wet.
Like that's what made a scary movie in the 80s.
Dude,
Things were just like
that was just,
for some
yeah,
reason.
right. It's like everything's gooey and wet, and you're like, ugh. Like, I remember in the first one, there's like this like two like trays that look like a morgue if you made it out of stone, like, so the tray comes out, and there's like a sheet covering like this bloody like body, and the body's just like writhing. Like, I don't know if it's pleasure or pain, but it's like all just like wet sheets, and you're like, ugh. Everything
sounds
just
so fucking gross.
I know, it's like just like a lot of it's just kind of gross. Like the whole like first movie, or like there's a lot of parts where you're just God, God.
Wish I didn't see that.
Yeah,
not only is it hard to follow, it's just visually hard to look at.
Right. So I'm gonna hit a couple other movies here quick. That one's good.
Yeah.
I would suggest to check it out.
By the way, where this comes out Halloween morning. Hopefully you're listening to this Halloween morning. Come Halloween night, people watching this movie, you recommending it?
It was dude. I'm recommending that one for sure. I really enjoyed it, and I think I said it in the episode last week. Like, give it some time. That was super judgmental coming into it. Like, okay, you change the character, and then all of a sudden they're like, the main character and this dude are like having sex, and you're like, okay, where's this going? Okay. And like halfway through the movie, I'm kind of like invested, and I'm like, all right, where's it going? And then like the last like 40 minutes or so, it like really ramps it up into like oh shit, okay, here we go. Like, it's like it really brings the horror. They had to kind of like set the scene, this isn't, it's almost like this is not what the other one was.
Right.
We have to explain this.
We have to explain that to you first.
Oh, and there's a part too that you would really appreciate.
Okay.
Like with the whole 3D thing, because there is a part that they are showing like an open chest cavity that like heals in real time, and it is beautiful. It is done so well. Like, it
looks good.
That looks like if that were ever to be a possibility to happen in real life, like that's what that shit looks.
What it would look like.
It's gotta look like that. I have no doubt.
Awesome.
Like, it's not like the like a reverse version of the claymation in the Indiana Jones movie where it's like stuff's melting or stuff's going back together, and you can tell it's like stop animation. But I watched The Apostle. The Apostle was pretty good, and I was pretty impressed. That was it's like an old timey like Irish accent. Or no, that wasn't Irish. That one was English. Because I watched a couple of them. I was trying to watch some of like the more critically acclaimed movies where I'm just like, okay, these are supposed to be good horror movies. I'm not just watching this shit because it sucks. Because I also watch movies because they suck. Not the Hellraiser one.
Right.
That one I watched because I was interested. Apostle I watched because it was supposed to be good. and there's some like cringeworthy gore in there where it's like, creepy, and there's creepy moments, and I thought that one was really good.
Nice.
And there is a character in there that dude, so well casted, because he's the guy they want you to hate, and I hated him before he ever opened his mouth. I swear to you, I'm just like, I don't like this dude. And then he does some real despicable shit, like has a daughter and just does some not cool, not rape. I know, like, people don't even like you to say that. I don't know.
Right.
Your Mom's House podcast like bleeps it out constantly. They don't even let the word be said. So I'm like, I don't know what that's all about.
Wow.
Yeah, I hear it on other podcasts still. So I don't know what that says about me that I'm hearing that everywhere. But it's not all of them. I just listen to comedy podcasts, and there's a lot of comedians that I like that aren't afraid to push boundaries. Anyways, so I'm watching this movie. This dude is supposed to go and save his sister, who ends up like getting abducted by a cult. And it's like in the 18th century, and they're on this, so like, it's no, we can call anybody or get out, he has to like infiltrate it and act like he's one of these members that wants to join the cult.
Yep.
And he basically knows at any moment, if they find out who he is, it's going to go real poor, because that's what happens.
The kind of cult it is.
Other people have already been murked. It's like, we know what's going on. It's,
right.
So, and then you have to go, and that character starts, trying to run shit. And I'm just like, I hate this guy with a passion. And I just couldn't wait for the end of the movie. Like, this guy can't live, right? And it's just, you're just waiting the whole time, and I don't know if I should even say what happens.
I know, I was just gonna say, I kind of want you to tell me, because I won't watch it, because I don't watch, but at the same time, I don't want to spoil it for anybody listening, and I don't want to have to do spoilers. So okay, you're just really excited for this ending.
I'm gonna say this.
Up for the ending.
I'm gonna say this. I'm looking at the time right now.
Okay.
If you don't want to hear the ending, when I say now, skip ahead 30 seconds, okay? It won't take that long. So hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get the right timing.
Yep.
Now. So, dude, there's two ladies that are in this movie, and they both like hate this guy too. And I can't remember exactly who they were in the story, but they end up like grabbing a thing, like a wire to like choke him. They wrap around his neck, and they start like trying to pull him.
Yeah.
And he's struggling and stuff. And as they're pulling him one way,
10 seconds.
The main character like plunges a knife into his chest. And they pull him one way, and the guy pulls down, and the knife goes from like his neck all the way like down to his groin. Like, they murder this dude hard.
Your 30 seconds is up.
Oh, damn it. Hopefully you didn't come back and hear that last one. I was trying to look at the time, and I was like, I was wrong. Yeah, that was 40 seconds. I was like, when it gets to 23 minutes, it's going to be fine.
It's okay.
Damn it. Anyways, oh well. I don't think anybody's going to skip forward. They were just like, just tell me, dude. I want to.
Right. Anyways, it was pretty fucking gnarly. I'll say that.
There's more to that movie.
I'm sure. I'm sure. The Apostle.
So then, here's another one, since we were talking about, like, because I'm giving you some good recommendations. Here's one not to watch. The Lighthouse. I think.
Oh, I've heard of that one. I think
The Lighthouse has Willem Dafoe and what's his face? Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
So pretty decent cast, but it's just those two guys, except for like a couple of other actors that like are in there for a split second. And it's actually like the main dude from Apostle is in this movie for like a second. But you're also like, so like, was that a ghost, or who was that guy? Like, what was he? Because there's just two guys in a lighthouse.
Yeah. Okay. And I've totally heard of this. I didn't know it was a fucking horror movie.
It's a horror movie. Oh. Kind of. I was just like, I don't know, dude. It's supposed to be a horror movie.
Okay.
The end, it's one of those where like after the movie was done, I was like, so now I go on YouTube and ask YouTube what the meaning of this movie was, because I'm like, I didn't follow any of that. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
And they got good ratings and stuff, and I'm like, so Hollywood's just sucking these people's dicks because these two big name actors are in this shitty movie.
Right.
What's happening? I don't
Right.
understand.
Right.
And it's kind of a psychological, like, jumping back and forth, confusing thing. And
Sure.
like they keep getting, like, the two characters keep getting drunk and dancing around and stuff, and then creepy stuff happens. And it
Okay.
is well acted, but as far as the storyline goes, I'm just like, I don't know.
What the fuck
I just
just
don't
happened?
know. I don't know. Because they keep saying these things, and because they keep doing all this stuff, at the end, it literally goes, so which parts were real and which parts weren't? Which parts,
Oh,
like,
dude, I fucking hate movies when they do that.
yeah,
Because they start to play that game of like, okay, was this just in his head the whole
exactly.
time?
Yeah,
Or was
it's,
that while he was sleeping? Or was
yeah,
that person a phantom? Like that sort of stupid shit.
right. Yeah, it's,
How
and
are you
that's
supposed to
exactly,
know?
yeah, it's like, were there really supernatural, weird, creepy things happening? Was it all in his head? The last guy they said that was in the lighthouse here ended up dying because he went mad. Did he go mad? Is that true and that actually
Right.
happened? And like the next guy's going mad as well? Did he really just die because he went crazy, or did this other guy murder him? Was any of this real?
Was
And
this
then
whole
at
thing
the,
just a dream or just some
dude,
sort of
and then
fucking
honestly,
madman's
and
psychosis?
without ruining, like, trying to ruin too much of it, at the end you're just like, so was everything after like minute 20 all in his head, or was it
Oh god.
legitimately like 100%
Mhm.
none of this was real at all,
Right.
and we were just watching
Yeah.
a
What I just
man?
said. It's just like, was
Yeah,
it seriously this dude's psychosis the whole time, and they're like, we're just
yeah.
in his head, like,
and
watching it play out.
and the critics are like, oh, we love asking so many questions when the movies are over. Like, I don't know.
I love when a movie just leaves me asking so much.
I love it when I just, like, when I get to the end and I get to sit down with my colleagues and we all get to go, so what did you think? That's what I love, is when we
That's
all get,
my
when we all
favorite
get
part.
to have our own interpretation of what actually happened in this movie. That's what really sends me off. So, like, so you would like me to make, can I make a bunch of movie just by getting a couple of big name stars to, so, like, star in my movie that's just a riddle? If I just make a riddle, if I have two talented actors tell you a riddle, will you be like, oh shit, yeah. Like, and a riddle that's like open ended where it's like multiple answers? Oh yeah, sure, yeah, it could be totally. Anyways, okay, I gotta hit you with uh two more shitty movies that so far are
Yeah.
really just dog shit, that are really bad, that, but are like so bad they're good.
Oh,
um
oh, these fall into your, like, I watch these because 'cause they're bad category.
yeah, this one, Hello
Good.
Mary Lou Prom Night 2.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, wait,
dude.
wait, wait. That's one title?
That's the title. Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night 2.
That's the worst title ever.
Oh yeah, dude. And it was supposed to be called like something at Haunting High or whatever, because it's like a haunted high school. But what actually happened was, like, they made this movie, and then it turned out that they thought like, oh, this could be a sequel to the first Prom Night. So then they went and reshot a couple of scenes just to be like, now it's a sequel. Like, it wasn't even it wasn't even the
It was
intention.
just a totally different movie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they're just like, we'll just add a couple of scenes so we can say it's a sequel now. So, dude, it's so dumb.
Oh
It's,
my god.
I'll just tell you like one of the
The
opening
worst.
scenes really fast because it's so stupid. There's a lot of movements that are like really stupid. Oh, including later on in the movie where like the lady is like possessed and she open mouth kisses her dad, and the
Oh,
dad is like,
oh,
doesn't really push her off right away. He's just kind of
oh.
confused at what's happening, and then the mom comes in and just yells at the daughter as she runs away instead of being mad at the dad, like, why are you making out with our daughter? She turns and yells harlot at the daughter. She's just like, harlot. Just like, this is 1980. Like,
What the
not, this isn't the 30s. What are you doing?
right.
But the initial start of the movie, like, the guy, The Mary Lou is like she ends up becoming like the ghost that's haunting this place, because in the beginning she gets murdered on accident by her boyfriend. She cheats on her boyfriend and ends up winning prom queen, and he's like, I'll show her, and throw a stink bomb on stage. And the stink bomb like lands like right at her feet and ignites her dress, and she burns to death in front of everybody.
Oh my
And
God.
the boyfriend is like on the stage like, no, pounding on the thing like, oh, doing the whole like, I can't believe she's dead, as she's still burning. Like, she's not dead yet.
She's not dead.
You could put her out, or at
You
least
could just
try.
go get a fire extinguisher. You're in a school. They're literally
Everybody's
30
just
feet
like
from you
staring
any
at her
moment.
like, oh no, oh my God, she's dead. Like, she's not yet though. She's
She's still burning. You
you
could
could
still save
totally
her.
give it a shot, do something.
Don't just sit there and watch flames engulf a human.
Oh
Like, what
yeah,
the fuck?
so bad. And then the other one that I'm watching that's bad, I'm only halfway
This is
through, so I
great.
can't really tell you much about it, but so far it's really fucking stupid, is An American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh, this
An
is a
American
famous as fuck movie.
Well, not this one.
Oh.
An American
What?
Werewolf in Paris was the sequel that came out like almost 20 years later, I think, because Smash Mouth is in it. Like the song, like they're
Right. Yep.
and I'm like, this looks a lot newer, like the way they're dressing and the way they're acting, and then all of a sudden might as well be walking on the sun. And I'm like, okay, shit. Like, this is
You're like, oh
definitely
shit, it is new.
it's a lot newer. And so far this one's really bad, but the original, so that one's another one that's supposed to be so bad it's good, and so far it's just really bad. It's like, I'm not laughing, it's just I hate this movie so far. I might be just torturing myself in this one, but the initial one, the first one that is very famous, is An American Werewolf in London.
Oh.
And An American Werewolf in London is actually really good. I like it. It's like, you got to go into it knowing that it's an old movie, but I think it's where
Right.
like they did a couple of things that nobody's done before.
Really?
The special effects in this 1981 classic are better than the almost 2000 sequel.
No way, dude.
I'm not kidding. Like, I don't know if the second movie was just like, we're not going to be able to top it, so just let's not even try. I don't know. They try to
I'm
do
gonna
some
guess that his hair was perfect in it.
I bet his hair was perfect. The first movie, they like to use every chance they can to play a song about a moon.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So there's a couple of parts where they're just playing like Blue Moon, and then they have there's a sex scene, and it has like the God dang, I can't think of the song right now. I had it in my head like most of the day today. But it's like an upbeat, kind of a weird song to have in a sex scene. You're just like, this is what you chose. And then I heard the lyrics, and it's like moon dance, and you're just like, oh, it says moon. I get it. You want to say moon every chance you can, because they're like, stay clear of the full moon.
Right. So it still does go off of that whole like
right,
full moon get you werewolf.
So yeah. I'm gonna tell you guys the ending of this one, because I can't believe I haven't heard of this before.
This is London, right?
This is the London one. This one was made in 1981. So if you haven't seen it yet and you want to see it, sorry. Like, you could have saw it already. I wouldn't have been mad at anybody if they would have ruined the ending for me now, because it's on me for not seeing it. But I can't believe I haven't heard of this, because it's one of my favorite things that's ever happened in a movie ever. It's like a roller coaster of emotions for a second. Where so first off, it's slated as a horror movie, right? And there's gore, and there's definitely like murder and stuff. But for the most part, this movie's a comedy, man. Like, there's a lot of parts where I was laughing, and I'm just like, this is pretty good. It's well written and stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, and there's crazy moments. Like, there's a part like after he's been basically like cursed. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just say it like this. A guy and his buddy are on a trip to London. They end up going out into the woods after being told like to stay on the road. and they hear this noise and stuff, and a werewolf ends up attacking him, killing the friend, and the werewolf maims, like claws the other dude in the chest and the face before the villagers like shoot the werewolf. And as soon as the werewolf dies, it becomes the naked version of the person that it was before, because now it's dead. So the whole movie is like nobody really believing this guy that it was a werewolf, because they're like, a maniac murdered your friend and hurt you because there's a dead guy.
Because there's just a naked dead dude right there next to you.
Yeah, that's the guy that did everything. It's not a werewolf, it's a man that hurt you or whatever. Right. So it's going through the movie and stuff, right? And I forgot what I started over to tell this part, and I forgot where I was going with this.
The end. Shit. You're gonna spoil it,
right? So I'm talking about the end. Anyways, I completely blanked. There was something else I was trying to get at there.
Oh, okay, I got you.
To tell the first part or whatever. So, anyways, he becomes. Oh, I think that's what I was trying to say. Was that's how you become the werewolf? Is that you get hit, but you don't get killed. His friend keeps coming back into the movie as like a ghost, as an apparition that he can see, because the apparitions, like those people, will not go away until the werewolf's bloodline is gone. So the friend just keeps coming up into the movie telling him he should kill himself, but like just kind of like in a nonchalant way. He's just like, this the only way this is going to end is if you kill yourself. So you got to kind of kill yourself. So you're just kind of like, okay. Yeah. So it happens a couple more times, and then so cut to the end, right? The werewolf, it's about to happen again. The night before, he was a werewolf, and he is now in a adult theater. Like porn is playing in the background.
Okay.
And as he's sitting in the theater by himself, I guess he was just decided to go to this porn theater.
Yep.
His friend shows up again, who's been progressing as far as like decomposure goes. And he's down to like almost a skeleton face.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, so, kind of told you that this is what was going to happen. You're going to kill people unless you kill yourself. And he's like, I'd like to introduce you to these people. Then he goes through and introduces it to like 6 different people he killed the night before.
Oh my God.
They have a conversation about how it's just like, you could hang yourself. No, if that went wrong, you'd like be choking yourself. Like that wouldn't be too good. So maybe like shoot yourself. And it's like, but what if your aim's off? And the one guy's like, you could put the gun into your mouth. You'd definitely be able to aim it well that way. And it's just like this crazy conversation. Then he turns into a werewolf, like in the theater, tells the guy that he needs the like attendant that you need to get out of here. He runs out. They pull down the like garage door to stop everybody from going in, and they're like, everybody needs to get away. Meanwhile, because they yell that, everybody in what London's like Times Square adorably calls the Piccadilly Circus, it's like, everybody like comes running to this door, and you're just like, that's the worst thing you could do. The werewolf busts through the door, grabs the chief of police that like just came over, or whoever he was, I forget, but like grabs him by the neck, like shakes, head goes flying, death, murder, cars, because you're like, the cars like pile up, dude on a motorcycle falls over, gets ran over, like just gore, everybody's dying. You're like, this is fucking madness. And in this madness, you're like, okay, now we're not a comedy anymore. This is kind of like an intense horror movie, but also kind of campy, because it's still 1981. Like it's really good for its time, but it's still 81. Like the werewolf is not realistic. But he runs down to the end of this alley, and the alley is a one-way. The cops come over and they all have their rifles and they're pointing at him and stuff. And the nurse that he's had like a love story with in this movie comes through, like busts through the crowd and runs through. And as she comes up to the wolf, she tries to like talk sense into him. And she's like, don't do this. You don't need to do this. I can help you. And she goes, I love you. And she's kind of like sad. And you can see that they zoom in on his eyes, and his like nose goes from like the angry snarl to like kind of relaxed. Like, is she getting through to him?
Right.
And then he goes, wow. and jumps. And the row he makes is like I'm pretty sure it's like a
Like a
big
weird house
cat
cat?
mixed with a howl and the scream of a person. Like they just layered those three things over each other. So it's like this crazy noise.
Like a house
But
cat?
he jumps and then the police. "Da, ba, 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 ba." And then they show everybody runs down to the end of the alley, and there's his dead body because he's been murdered now. He's just a
Right.
naked man. She
Yep.
knows without a doubt that it was this man she loved, which up until now didn't have confirmation that he was truly a werewolf, but like
Yep.
believed his story, said this
Right.
wolf is him.
Yep.
Now knows for sure that it's him. He's dead. She cries, and you're like, so it wasn't a comedy? Fades to black, and it just goes, what is the damn it, now my brain just doesn't work.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, so she's crying, right? All
Yep.
serious. Fades to black. Ba ba da ba da bang da bang bang da ding da ding ding da dum dum bum bum boo 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 boo.
That's the credit music.
That's the last 10 minutes is what I just told you. This insane scene. Then he gets murdered. She's crying, fades to black, and that's the credit music. My eyes got big. I just go, this is the best ending I've ever seen in the movie. Like the range of emotions. I go, shit, it's not a comedy. Like
Right.
this is for real. Oh my gosh,
Right.
she's sad. Like, oh, the love of her life. Like, Jesus.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, baba da bada bang da bang. Yeah. Dude. It's one of my favorite things I've ever seen in a movie, and I can't believe nobody's ever told me about it before.
I can't believe that nobody's ever told me before.
I've never laughed. Honestly, that is the funniest edit I've ever seen in a movie. I don't, there's no way you could, it's the most back ass words song
For real.
to play in that moment, and it just got me so good, dude. So there's my recommendations. Go watch American Werewolf in London. Don't watch the American Werewolf in Paris. And all those other movies, you know, if you didn't rewind a little bit and try not to hit the spoiler if you're rewinding.
Right. Whoops. Oh well. Oh, that's so funny though. I love it.
I had so to go
now
off.
This is one question that I had to ask you about all this though.
Yeah.
How do you balance this? Because it's all tying in.
Yeah.
How do you balance this with a 4-year-old?
Oh, so I
watch the scary, creepy shit with a 4-year-old. I don't
watch it on my yeah. I watch it on my phone with headphones.
Oh,
yeah, because then I can just like turn it so he can't see
TV, and then you're just
I'm literally like right there with him watching my own thing.
Right.
Yep. So and like because I've been carving the pumpkin, I set the phone up and I'm like working on the pumpkin. Like, don't worry about it, dude. Go watch your show.
Right.
Yeah, the one day I have like there was a movie and he comes over and he like starts tapping the screen because I had it paused and it wasn't a scary scene or whatever.
Right.
I'm just like, what are you doing? And he's like, I can't hear it. I'm like, I know, I got headphones. Like, this is something you can't hear. Like, I did this on purpose. Get out of here.
Right. No, get away. That's so good. Okay, that's what I thought. So we'll do the pumpkin thing in between because you got some special tools. But I have a trend. There's a perfect transition here, but I don't give a shit because I want to talk about the pumpkin thing.
Yeah.
But I want to ask this, and then we're gonna get into games. Did you see anything about the new Silent Hill movie?
No, there's a new Silent Hill movie.
There's a new Silent Hill movie. Konami did a huge fucking production thing. Had people on green screens and they're inside the new game or they're inside the movie. I'm not sure what's going on. They had this really long presentation. They announced 4 games and a movie and it was crazy. The fact that you didn't hear anything just makes me go, okay, cool. There's a new Silent Hill movie, dude.
Dude, that's dope. And hopefully the new one that they just work out some kinks to try to do it better. Because the old ones succeeded in being creepy.
So they don't even mention the old ones, not even a little
good.
bit. They don't mention it because of 2006 and 2012. So you've seen them.
Yeah, because they were okay. I mean, like they incorporated like weird, creepy stuff from the video game. Like they had the pyramid head and they had the creepy nurses and stuff.
Yeah.
But like it felt kind of like forced. Like the darkness would come and it'd be creepy and you're like, oh no, here comes the like evil and stuff. But as far as the story went, it was really lacking. And you're like, there's gotta be a better way to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
interesting. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. There's a new one coming out. I'll keep you informed.
I'll still
because
definitely watch it. It's just
up in my shit.
It's like the Resident Evil movies. I haven't seen that Return to Raccoon City, the newest one, but all the other Resident Evil movies I saw. And every time you finish them, you're just like, it wasn't quite, it could have been better. The video games definitely tell a story that's a lot creepier and a lot better, it seems like.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, why can't we do the same thing in this? Because you're following a different character or whatever. But
right.
You still, at the end of the day, you go, yeah, it was still a Resident Evil game, like that's,
yeah.
I saw all the characters, I saw creepy stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. But like if you could make Resident Evil 4 into a movie, like that's the whole thing. Like you don't even need to change the story. Tell me the exact story I played in the video game. So but just make it a movie.
That's the thing with Silent Hill 2 seeming like it's okay. So we'll get into the video game thing here in a minute, but it sort of seemed like the new Silent Hill movie was basically just going to be Silent Hill 2, the video game, on screen.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, because that'll make a good movie. That'll make a good movie, man. Like, just all of it. Like, if you can remember Silent Hill 2, like, just making that into a movie, having a scene where you're in a creepy apartment and then all of a sudden the mannequin comes alive, like, that's sweet. Jesus. Walk around a place and then down the hallway you can see that pyramid head thing, but he doesn't do anything right then. You just see him and you can't get to him, and that dude, like your main character just gets to go, yeah, is anybody else seeing that guy? And and then they just like leave it alone because they can't get to him and they can't solve it.
Right.
And then later on that creepy thing is like just there and he gets to come at you.
Yeah.
And in the game, you're one-on-one with him in like a 10x10 room. Like, what the hell? You went from seeing this terrifying thing down the hallway to now you're stuck in a small room with him.
Do you want to explain the pyramid head thing to anybody who's listening? That's like,
so the pyramid head thing, if you haven't seen the other movies, Silent Hill, the second Silent Hill, pyramid head guy is in that movie and he's like a protector of the lady. And you're just like, that's not how this works. He's out for blood. I don't know. It's like just weird. And then they're just
he's like, it's like it appears to be like a 6 foot tall man with a
taller,
huge fucking cone. Okay. So yeah. I just assumed the cone went above his head, but like this pyramid, it's like a 6 foot tall, 6.5 foot tall man with a still taller.
I think he's probably like 7 foot. He's a very large dude. He's like a massive pro wrestler, tall.
There you go.
Like he's like, that's probably who they got to play it.
Like
honestly, because probably Kane. Like that's exactly.
Kane is probably playing Pyramid Man in the new Silent Hill movie.
probably like 6'8" to 7 foot tall, and then this pyramid head thing is literally like a steel. It's a little bit more elongated than a pyramid. Like if the face like came to more of a beak, like almost shaped like a bird. Like if you had like a bird face and a pyramid together is what it is.
Oh, like a bird face and a traffic cone.
Yeah, dude.
That were made out of steel.
Yes. And it's 4-sided, not rounded. It's steel. And it's like all rusty and definitely looks menacing.
Yeah.
And that thing looks massive. Yeah. So just to have this massive dude to be able to hold up this thing, you're like, that dude's a brick shit house. Like that's gonna be 1 million pounds. And then he's got just this mass. Yeah. And he's got this massive sword, just massive. It's just
Huge.
like
Like
super wide, and he just
bigger than
drags it
Cloud
behind
in
him.
Final Fantasy VII with that Buster
Yeah, that's
Sword.
exactly what I was gonna
To
say. If
make
anybody,
another video game
yeah,
reference.
exactly. If anybody knows about Cloud Sword,
Look at
it's that
Final
kind of
Fantasy VII
style though,
Cloud
like
Sword.
super wide and like so big that this giant man drags it behind him, just holds on to the handle, and it drags on the ground until he
Yeah.
needs to swing it.
Right.
And that thing you're stuck in a 10 by 10 room with.
Right. You feel like it could reach every corner of that room.
And he
at any
pretty much
moment.
does. The first couple times I played it, I'm just like, what do I do here? Like, I can't. There's nothing I can do.
Just getting murdered immediately.
Just murdered over and over and over. And you're just like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, before we continue down the video game path, Tim, tell me, because we said it on the last one. I said, bring that to the fucking I don't know if I said it in the podcast. I can't even remember now if it was in between, but you got new carving stuff. You used it to make the pumpkin behind you?
Yes.
Oh shit. There it is. Look at it. Look at it. It's like a little,
yeah,
it's
so
like
nice.
It's like a mini
it's
toolkit.
Nice case. It's crystal. It's spelled CHRYZTAL.
And you said that they were technically clay?
That's what most of these are, yes. But that's this was specifically made like for a pumpkin set. Like it's got
no kidding.
It's got your scoop and your knives and then like a
Hold
bigger
it up a little
scoop.
bit closer like to your head so that way the crowd right in front of the camera. There we go. So come over to YouTube if you want to see all this. Tim will describe it, but
so it kind of looks like a doctor's set, but you got like the scoop and like the blades and stuff, and then there's like a smaller, more refined knife over here.
Okay. Yeah.
But then
it looks super tiny.
like I used this a lot. Like they have the loop is like the big one you can scrape, but this one is what I was using. See how small that is?
What? That's a loop?
It's a little tiny loop, and then you can just like scrape the flesh off with that.
Really?
So I used that a lot, or I was using this as like this is a loop as well, kind of like a.
That's almost like
shaped one.
It looks like a potato peeler, except for it's like
that's kind of the idea of all these.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I just was like using that corner to like scoop stuff out.
It's like a pencil-sized potato peeler.
Yeah. And then you got like the smaller stuff, like the up here. That was like this tool. Like this is just kind of like a spaded like blade.
It's and almost just like a spade, like a really, really pencil-sized lawn shovel, dirt shovel.
Yeah. And it's just a point, but it's sharp.
It's super pointy though. Holy
like that
cow,
could definitely like stab somebody. It's a blade pretty much. So I just cut that, and then this other side is kind of like a hook almost. You can kind of see that curve.
That's a hook.
So I would cut around the edge, and then I'd use this side to just kind of like scrape the pieces out.
Holy crap. That's how you get the detail in like the rod of the Real AF TV logo.
Yep. So, and one thing, if anybody else is trying out there to do this, the graphite transfer paper that they say to use, I don't know if other people get it to work. I've seen it done in videos. I was like, this will work. It didn't at all for me. I don't.
Oh.
So I put the template on there, and this is just like a poker tool. I don't know what they use this for in clay, but these are legitimately just like I went to Crafts Direct, and you get these in the clay. So it's like a nice poker.
Yeah. It's just like it's a really nice needle.
Yeah, exactly. With like a nice handle, so I don't get like the finger fatigue and stuff.
You got a really nice like wooden pen.
Exactly.
But it's just a needle.
I've done it before with like a push pin, where my hand's like cramping up because I'm holding it all dumb. So I'm like, I need something to handle this.
Yeah.
And you just kind of poke around your stencil. So when you take it off, there's like, you're basically playing connect the dots.
Yeah.
And it's up to you how many dots you want to do.
Right.
But this tool, this will work regardless of what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
If you take this, you can like carve out the inside so it's nice and clean. It makes your pumpkin lighter. It makes light come through better. And
you thin out the inside with it?
I thin out the inside so the light comes through better, because this
Right.
isn't cut through. It's just the flesh is like peeled off.
The flesh is so thin on the Real AF TV logo on this. Your particular, talking about the logo in the background there, the Real AF
Yes.
TV pumpkin. None of it is popped out. It is still a jack-o'-lantern in the sense of light is getting through.
Yeah.
But it's
Light's
just
coming.
because the skin's so thin, light shines through it.
I've taken off all the orange skin, and then I've carved it down. Well, I've made the inside thin enough that I didn't need to go that deep on the outside. And I just kept going. And you take it all out, man. And this thing is light as hell compared to what it was when I first got it.
That pumpkin?
This is like a 20-pound pumpkin. I bet it weighs like 4 pounds now. So you just scrape it all out, and the inside reflects the light really well too. So if you're going to do this for anybody that's just making like a regular jack-o'-lantern, you use your scooper and kind of get the guts out, and then you go in there and you clean this out. There's nothing left. There's none of those strings. There's nothing. You can use this to shave the bottom flat, so you can put your candle in there or light, whatever you have.
Yeah, whatever light source. Yeah.
And everything reflects better, because instead of having like the orange slime and stuff, it's almost like a whitish flesh. The inside like looks like this.
Yeah, it's just
so it reflects the light a lot better.
Yeah. What is that tool that you're using to scrape?
A clay tool. I think it's just called like a loop tool. This is
these are a bigger loop. It's kind of a weird shape. I don't even know how to explain it for anybody listening.
It's kind of like at a point one side, because you can, use it if you were making clay. You're probably scraping parts off like this using that circle, and then here's a flat one, to do whatever you're trying to do. But these are legitimately in, like, if you go to Crafts Direct or whatever, they're in by the clay shaping tools. I got corrected by I don't know if she caught my like kind of dickish response, but I go into, because I'm carving a pumpkin and I'm just calling it carving. So I go into, and I'm like, I don't know where to go. Crafts Direct is huge. And I go, do you know where I would find the clay carving tools? And she goes, clay carving? You mean like clay shaping tools? And I go, that's probably what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah, you think maybe? You think we're talking, the tools that you use to do clay? Sorry, I didn't say shaping, and I said carving. But probably, don't you think we'd be on the same page?
Response to me.
Yeah, just like, I don't know. You think maybe that's where you would point me in the right direction? Sorry, I didn't use the right English. Whatever.
You know what I'm asking for.
Yeah, I get too worked up on soup and stuff like that, because it's just like, oh, do I really have to use the right English? Like, if I come into this place and I'm looking for something else, is that how I'm going to get treated for everything? Do I get the wood burning kit? Do you mean scoring? The wood scoring? The hot stick that makes burn marks in the wood. Where do I find that?
Where's that thing?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, so I wasn't trying to be a dick, but also she was kind of being a dick. Like, sorry, I didn't use the right English. Jerk. I'm going to use it for carving pumpkins. Where's your carving pumpkin shit? Can I say that?
I didn't say that, so come on now.
Yeah, don't you think that these are probably more popular for the people carving pumpkins? How many people in St. Cloud do you think are out there shaping clay?
Shaping clay in October.
Yeah. Whatever, you idiot. Parts of me just want to like make a loud noise where I go, where's your clay carving tools? Is it shaping? And I just go, walk away. Just go try to find the next person.
I'm gonna find somebody else. Okay, let's jump into video games quick here before we go too long.
Yes,
because I don't want to make it a 2-hour Halloween special. Like we
Right.
usually go 2 hours. But I want to go into games quick because that was I love the pumpkin carving stuff and that you have it sitting behind you. But let's jump back into Silent Hill quick because obviously you played Silent Hill 2. I had so many fucking games on PS2 and I know there's a billion of them out there.
Yeah.
I didn't have fucking Silent Hill 2. I don't know how we never really talked about it. Everything you just said was all news to me. I knew.
Oh, really?
I played a little bit of Silent Hill 1 on PS1, and that is it. So, like, you know about Silent Hill 2, and there was Silent Hill 2 in this thing that Konami put on because some of the reactions I listened to, they were like, well, there's Silent Hill 2.
Really?
Yeah, like, do they just have a PS2 running on it? Because apparently that is what the new game is. Also,
it's just a remake?
Yeah. And nobody really knows what's going on. If it's like getting the Resident Evil 2 remake treatment where it's just like ground up, look at this, look at this game. Now reimagine it. Nobody knows. Apparently it's still just called Silent Hill. And the same with the movie. Apparently the movie's just going to be called Silent Hill again.
Okay.
And supposedly they're both being made off of Silent Hill 2. Like, this is what's happening right now. Nobody fucking knows what's happening, but Konami made a huge deal out of it. And
so everybody's just confused.
Yep, and just mostly confused everybody because all the reactions I listened to, that was what was being said. Is just like, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
What's happening again?
Right. You did say like that they're just calling it Silent Hill again, and I did laugh to myself thinking like that's what it's all called now.
That's what it should just
Silent Hill again.
Silent Hill again. Just throw the again on the end of it and
again.
Bam.
Yeah, and then the next one that comes out after that, Silent Hill again and again. Yes. But no, that sounds pretty cool. I wonder if it might be too that they just like wanted to, like the Resident Evil thing, just improve on the gameplay.
Yeah.
Because the first Silent Hill 2, you're like running through this creepy town that's all misty, right? And it's
well, that's how the original Silent Hill is on.
Yeah.
Like everybody was just like, well, cool. But that's just because that's all the PlayStation can render.
Right.
Nobody knew if it was for real or if it was just a rendering thing because everything was foggy in quotes on PS1 anyway.
Yeah.
And then it turns out, no, that's supposed to be what it looks like because they did it on PS2 again.
Right.
So, okay, yeah, keep going.
Yeah. Well, and they kind of did the whole, I think they did it in 1 too, where you're just kind of like running to where like there's a creepy area.
Yep.
And then like the darkness comes. And then sometimes like you have no choice, but like the darkness just kind of takes it over.
Yeah.
And you don't like, you can't get out. Like you're going to get murdered, but then you just like wake up. You're like in a diner and you're like, what the hell? Like that's your character. Like you had no choice. Like you just keep trying to run. Like it's panic stricken. Like, oh, Jesus, the thing. I can't get away. I don't have anything to fight with. What the fuck? He's getting me. Oh, he's taking me down. And then like you wake up and you're like, oh shit, that was part of the game. Like, but it was kind of like clunky. Like,
okay, interesting.
And all I can think now that they're saying that is like the scariest start to a game I've ever seen is Dead Space. And Dead Space does kind of that where you don't have any. Huh?
Oh, keep going.
Oh, like you don't have any weapons. You can't fight. You're forced to do what you have to do.
Okay.
And if you don't do it, you die and you start over. And I wonder if that's like a Silent Hill thing that they're going to do, where they're just going to be like, you either complete this part or you start over. You either get away from these things or you start over.
Right.
But
that's a good question.
There was the creepy school in there. Like,
yeah,
you have your light, especially with the rendering abilities and stuff that you can do now.
Right.
It's got some real potential because especially I know that you have your flashlight.
Like the light and actually fog this time. Like it can literally make volumetric fog.
and there's like when you're indoors, you have a flashlight.
Okay.
And you're just walking through these like creepy buildings, and all you can see is what is in front of you with your flashlight.
Right. Right.
Like the light doesn't really reflect down the way.
Yeah.
But if it does like it does in real life,
Yeah.
and your flashlight's like reflecting off glass and stuff in the distance, and you're just like, what is that?
Yeah.
Then it turns out it's just like nothing.
Right. It'll freak you up.
It's creepy enough to have something down there, you know, or like there's just a shadow being casted, like there's something down the hallway.
Yeah. Resident Evil 2 does that now on like the PS4. I have the PS5 version now too. I haven't played it yet because they just gave it away. They were like, you bought the PS4 version, here's the PS5 one. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. But anyways, tell me, so what about the camera? Something changed with the camera on Silent Hill 2. So what was the camera? Because they went to the like over the shoulder typical adventure camera now, and they made a big deal about that. And so what's that going to change with the creepiness? Because I don't know what the original Silent Hill 2 camera was like. Do you remember?
I thought it was more of a I thought it was more of a third person.
Yeah, no, it's third person for sure, but it's more like Leon Resident Evil 4 over the shoulder now.
No, but I mean like in Resident or in the Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
I thought it was like third person. I don't remember it being ever like anything that I really had a problem with. Maybe they're changing it to more of a first person where it's like closer in.
No. Well, maybe it's closer over the shoulder, but I'm telling you, the new one, like they announced the new one. They had some gameplay.
Okay.
They announced a new one. It's like Resident Evil 4 kind of style camera. Like over the shoulder.
Dude, maybe I'm thinking maybe I'm messing some of it because there was a Silent Hill 3. Yeah. I'm probably just messing them up in my head.
Yeah, man. Just getting it. Yeah. Do you have Silent Hill 2? Do you know?
I don't think I do anymore.
You played
it. I did at one point in time. I had it, but there was a point in time too where I would play games and then I'd go trade them into GameStop to get a new game, like just get some money off of it. Like, why do I need to hold on to this? I'm never going to play it again. And now that I'm older, I'm just like, damn it, I should have like just collected it all. Like, I don't need to ever play it again. It's just cool to have it, you know?
Right. I know. It's like Tony Hawk 3, a fucking idiot.
Right.
Seriously, exactly. The best one. Dumbass.
Yeah.
Just because Tony Hawk 4 came out, which wasn't as good.
Dude, 100%. Like, I had some of the original Metal Gear Solids. I don't have any of those anymore.
Oh, shit.
And it's like, those would have been dope to have. But it was that same mentality.
Right.
Why should I keep any of this stuff?
Right.
Yeah. I never viewed any of those games as collector's items.
Right.
And now the only old ones I have are Mario parties.
So, right. Hey, that counts for something though. Those games are fucking sick.
It does for sure. I saw Mario Party 4 in the mall was selling for like $90.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I have it. So
right. That's sick.
Yeah.
So you said the magic words earlier, Dead Space. Do you still have Dead Space?
I have them on the PS4, I believe. I think I got rid of the disc version because I think I have them downloaded.
Because you downloaded them, sure.
Yeah.
Sweet. Because they're remaking that sumbitch too.
Yeah, which should be awesome.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't looked into it yet, but it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell you it's good. I can tell you I don't have to look at it. I can tell you it was good when it came out, and then you just polish all that stuff.
That's exactly what they're doing, dude.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. Because it's already a PS3 game, right?
Yeah.
So it's already a decent generation. Like it already had a free camera or whatever. You know, like they already had cameras figured out by then, and the graphics were decent already. So what are you going to do to make a spooky game more spooky? Lighting, textures.
Yeah, exactly. Make it look more wet, realistic.
Probably.
Yeah, make it look real. Is how
or
you
gooey,
make it scarier.
Or just like 80s Hellraiser gooey.
Just gooey. Make everything wet.
Everything's just wet and sticky.
Everything's wet and gross and. But that game, I feel like there is a lot of that wet grossness in that game.
Just
But
because of the alien, like the being, like
right,
the
it's like
alien
aliens and
beings
stuff.
are sticky and gross.
Yeah. But damn, dude, that is a good game. The weapon systems is awesome. Like just a
Yeah.
legitimate good game. Plus it's scary as shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know we've
that's
talked
one.
about it before, so I just wanted to
Yeah.
see where you were because people have played it now. But the fucking stupid thing, I hate this. It's spooky season, so everybody's got to get their, 2 cents in. So
Yeah.
EA had people come down, like I think they were in the EA LA, I'm pretty sure. They
Okay.
had people come in and
Yeah.
play it.
Yeah.
They played it on like high-end PCs for 6 hours, you know?
Okay. Yep.
So people are out there talking about it now because it's October, it's spooky season, so you better talk about it. And this some bitching game doesn't come out until 2023. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
really? Damn it.
damn it.
Dude, that game though, like it's gonna be a killer. Cause
Yeah.
I'll say it like this. For anybody that's a fan of Doom,
Yeah.
take the
New Doom
idea
or like
just the storyline of Doom, like the idea, like Doom
uh
is new
yeah,
Doom is insane. It's intense. Old Doom was just kind of like creepy, but it was so old. So
right.
pixelated. Like it was creepy when you were a kid, but now any kid
Yeah.
that looks at that is just like, this is Minecraft? Like I don't even think it's scary anymore. It's too pixelated
Right,
to be
right, right, right.
scary. But when we were kids, like this is scary for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Cause
Yeah, it was creepy.
yeah. But the storyline in Doom is really cool. And that's
Yeah.
why that movie was such dog shit. With Dwayne the Rock Johnson in it and stuff. Like that
Yeah, and
movie
they were
could have been
putting in
so
these
great.
quote unquote first person shooter camera
Yeah.
views,
Well,
cuts
and
in it.
it's so dumb and he gets like evil and stuff, but the idea of Doom is that they figured out that hell exists
Right. Yeah, it's
and
just
that there's
like
an
hell
unlimited
monsters.
and there's an unlimited source of energy is why they ended up tapping into it.
Oh,
Because they're like, hell is real and we can use hell's energy to power stuff.
okay.
And then they basically had like a nuclear explosion with everybody around it, and that's what caused all the beasts. Like
Oh,
everybody that was like got transformed into these crazy demon things with
right,
hell energy
right,
or whatever.
right,
So it could be a terrifying story. It's literally like anything your mind can come up to with about like demons and monsters and stuff.
right,
You can do
right,
whatever you want.
right.
And that's kind of what that movie or Hell Space or Dead Space. God
Dead
damn, I'm
Space.
all over the place. Dead
Right.
Space is like that. There's like a relic that is making all these things evil. So it's like the people that are running around are becoming evil, or the alien creatures out there are becoming evil. For the most part, they're real people that have turned evil because of this relic.
Okay.
Like the big main things that come after you most of the time are people that have just turned into these crazy things. Like their arms are broken and bending the wrong way, and there's like big bones that are poking out, and their
Yeah.
mouths have like ripped at the seam, and it's like all elongated, and it's a person, but it's been morphed by this
Been
energy.
highly, yeah.
So if you can make that look real, like make it look like a real person, like even more so than it did before,
Right, right.
to just this, I mean, they're
Like, don't even
the I,
change it, right? Just leave it
yeah,
the way it is and just make better textures and
yeah,
add better lighting to it so that it and just make it move more, give it a different, like, maybe muscular structure or something like that, that
right,
makes it just feel more realistic. Like, yeah,
yeah,
sounds fucking
yep,
creepy.
for sure. It is very creepy, and that's just like the main thing. There's so many more monsters in that thing that you got to watch out for and stuff. And there's a show, but it's an anime, so I never really got into that one. But there's
Oh,
an
okay.
animated Dead Space show
Nice.
that's hardcore.
Do you know
For
where you can find it?
I thought it was on the Cartoon Network at one point in time, but I
Oh.
don't know for sure. It's so over the top, dude. It is like a mature rated, like
Mhm.
it's just like the game.
Right.
It's murder.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta.
Well,
I mean,
Cyberpunk just did a if you don't know anything about Cyberpunk, it's not a big deal, but it's a big RPG in
I'm
a like
familiar.
okay, yeah, yeah, you've definitely heard it if you've hang
Yeah,
around video games at all.
yeah.
They just released their anime on Netflix and it's
Oh,
mature.
really?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's M rated cuz like you get to like customize your dick in that game. So like so like you definitely like it goes into all kinds of adult themes, I guess. And I haven't seen it, but I heard it's super fucking good and definitely like super mature and shit like that, which I would expect nothing less from a Dead Space anime.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, how could you not?
Right.
You can't take a mature rated game and turn it into a PG-13 movie.
Right.
I feel like other things have done. That's what Doom was. That's right.
Oh,
that's where you fail.
Right.
You have a mature rated video game and you made it PG-13.
Boom. There it is.
Yep. For sure. You can't.
100%.
It has to be gnarly. You're talking about hell energy.
Right.
There's a gun called the BFG, which they actually make a reference to in that thing, and I don't think they say it.
Right, because they only can say fuck one time.
There's a possibility that they do say it, and that's the one fuck they get.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I forget. I just remember it's dog shit. It didn't stick because it sucked. I know that for sure.
Right. You're not gonna pick up the one line that like out of the whole movie when the whole movie just sucks so bad.
No, the F word line sticks in a lot of movies because people use it good sometimes.
Yep.
And that movie just sucked. I love those F word lines though.
Like, I know they're so good.
There's a couple of them that are just money. That Ringer one. Do you remember the Ringer one where Johnny Knoxville is trying to get convince the lady that they weren't doing whatever they were doing, and he's just like, we went to see you go get ice cream, and the one kid in the back just goes, when the fuck do we get ice cream? That's the only F word they get to say in the whole
I think we might have talked about this one real early in the podcast, because this conversation, we've definitely had this conversation before, because everybody does. I fucking love it. They're so good. I'm trying to think of the one in Hot Rod, because that's a PG-13 movie, and I just watched it not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I just, oh God, I laughed so fucking hard.
He says one in there, huh? I don't even remember it.
Yeah. They drop one somewhere in there, and it's so
damn, casual. Dude. Now I got a reason to watch it again. I gotta try to find the F word.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good. I just remember it being really good. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments.
It must be casual because
remembering that right. But I'm telling you, I watched it last year, and I was like, oh fuck, it has one of the greats in it.
Nice, dude. That's dope.
Yeah, so good. Anyways, Tim, that's it. That's all I got for the Halloween special, except for anybody who's listening and watching. This is a wrap for me and you. I gotta put out the Edgar Allan Poe reading from last year at the end of this podcast. Yes, I said it. It was from last year. It is out on the YouTube channel as standalone. We did put it out on our social media stuff last year as a standalone. It was at the end of last year's podcast. I don't care. I listened to it with headphones on, and it is beautiful. I'm going to put it out there again. Hopefully more people see it, hear it. Let's put it out there again this year. And if you're listening to this on Halloween, happy Halloween. We did this special, literally a special episode. It is not part of our bi-weekly releases. We're just dropping it because Halloween fell on a Monday. We drop full episodes on Mondays every other week. Normally, fuck it. Do the Halloween special. Here it is. And that's it. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
And
I just looked. Do you want to hear the Hot Rod one?
Oh, yeah. Quick. Do it. And then we'll go into the poet. Then we'll go into the poem.
Yeah. So it was he's just Rod is doing his thing, and I can't remember exactly what point of the movie this is in. And he's standing there talking to the one mom, and he's just like looking at the kids, and he goes, they grow up so fast. And the angry mom goes, get the fuck off my porch.
Yes. 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 It's because he's going around trying to raise money or something like that. It was like a door-to-door thing.
Exactly.
It's just like this, late 20s kid trying to, oh God.
Yeah, now I remember I remember the scene, but I don't remember like the setup, like who he's talking about.
No, this is the whole setting now. He's trying to raise money. That's the whole concept of the movie, right? She hired him for a birthday party. And without going into everything, that they do the birthday party and it goes shitty, right?
Yeah.
And then this is them standing at the front door. She's just like paying him to get him to go away.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just trying to make small talk because the kid's birthday. Yeah.
Right. Trying to pretend that didn't just get all fucking weird.
And he's just like, he grew up so fast. And just hands him the money. Get the fuck off my porch.
It's really good. You got, when you watch the whole thing in context, it's beautiful.
Dude, they
it doesn't come. It's a random character.
Like, and they slid it in so well. Yeah, I don't even remember it being the F word. Like, it's it's so natural.
Exactly. That's why it's so good. Coming from just a nonchalant supporting character, like just an extra, basically.
Right. Awesome.
It's the best.
Awesome.
All right. That's it. Happy Halloween. Into the poem. Enjoy. Be safe. All that fun Halloween stuff. Get weird.
Creepy crawlers.
In spring of youth it was my lot to haunt of the wide earth a spot, the which I could not love the less, so lovely was the loneliness of a wild lake with black rock bound, and the tall pines that towered around. But when the night had thrown her pall upon that spot, as upon all, and the mystic wind went by, murmuring in melody, then, then, I would awake to the terror of the lone lake. Yet that terror was not fright, but a tremulous delight, a feeling not the jeweled mind could teach or bribe me to define, nor love although the love were thine. Death was in that poisonous wave, in its gulf a fitting grave, for him who then could solace bring to this lone imagining, whose solitary soul could make an Eden of that dim lake.